Good morning, everyone. I'm so thankful that God's mercies are new every morning. This is faithfulness because we are not very faithful as human beings sometimes, and we are definitely not very merciful as human beings sometimes. And I'm talking about myself, not anybody else. I pray that from this day on, I can be more of who He created me to be and less of who I was becoming, because that was not a good thing for me at all. So lose weight and get healthy when you have an ugly inside. Um, it doesn't matter how much you weigh. It doesn't matter what you look like. It doesn't matter if your face is droopy or not droopy. What matters is what's on the inside that's coming out. And I didn't like what was coming out. And it's not going to happen anymore because it's not the true me, as I said yesterday on the video. It's not. I like who I am. I love myself, but I don't love myself when my behavior is not who I am. And therefore, I've made changes that are necessary in myself and in this channel, definitely. I don't have to work until 10 today, so I thought I'd just take an hour to come on and chat with whoever showed up in here. And that's pretty much it. I have, thanks to Lola, I have been into a new channel for 1 meal a day, OMAD. It's called the OMAD Revolution. I encourage you, if you are struggling to lose weight, to check this guy out. Probably one of the very best OMAD channels I've ever seen. Absolutely incredible. He actually shows you the meals to make to lose the weight. Interesting thing is, though, I've been doing OMAD correctly without even realizing it by monitoring my calories as they go up and down. What I'm doing obviously is working and has been working for quite some time. I think I did it the best way. I think I did it great by doing intermittent fasting for quite some time, and then taking a break from that, then going keto, then transitioning into Atkins, and then trying the alternate fasting every other day, and now to the full 1 meal a day plan, which is satisfying. I don't wake up thinking about, oh, I can't wait to eat breakfast, or I wonder what's for dinner, or anything like that. My lunch goes from anywhere from 11 to 3, or sometimes if I eat a little bit later, like at 1, it'll go till 5. Sometimes I eat even after that. If I'm hungry, I might grab something at 9. Like last night, I grabbed a piece of cheese, not piece of, but cheese, and fried it in a pan and then rolled it up and ate it. But if I'm going to snack at night, I generally try to stick with like cheese or some kind of protein, nothing carb. I don't do carbs at night if I can absolutely help it. And it seems to be working great. My calories are different every single day. My carbs are different every single day. It doesn't seem to be bothering me, as long as if I have a really high calorie carb meal, I go back down lower the next day or two and then go back up again. Fluctuating my calories is working. This carb cycling, calorie cycling thing works. And now with only 1 meal a day to do it with is working even better. So I'm pretty excited, and I'm pretty excited to find this, or to check out this OMAD channel that Lola was so kind to bring across my path. I don't know. I don't have any planned topics, and I have found out that when you come on here and you don't have planned topics, that's when trouble starts. That's when people come in and start bringing garbage about other things, other people, other situations into the group that ought not to be brought there. And that's why I have taken away the mod wrenches, because I know me, I'm a toughie. But I also know I have a soft spot, and I know the balance in that. And I feel very qualified to handle the moderating myself for a while. It's not that I don't trust people, it's that they see things differently than I do. And since it is my room, I feel like it's a good idea for me to run it my way. And I didn't have a problem when I used to do that. The only time I had a problem when I finally invited them in and started wrenching everybody was the one day I got deluged with a bunch of riffraff. Hi, honey. Um, I just, I don't know. I love who I really am inside. And all the garbage that has happened in the last few weeks, months, whatever, I don't even know how long it's been. It hasn't been that long. It's not me, and it doesn't feel comfortable. It's like trying on some kind of outfit that it just is not your personality. Like if somebody came in and brought me some kind of thing with I don't know, pentagrams on it and a bunch of skulls and blood and whatever, I would not feel comfortable putting that on because that's not me. Now, if somebody brought me a floral dress or like some cute little hat or something, or some cute shoes, sandals with lots of beads on them and lacy stuff on them, I would love that. That would be me. I'm done trying to fit into something like a square peg in a round hole. That's never been me, actually. I am very much the person that marches to the beat of a different drum. But that drum is not an ugly drum. It's not one that makes people feel awful. I don't do that. That's not me. That's demonic, and I don't want any part of that. And when I start getting like that, um, then I feel bad about myself, and I can't live my days feeling like I've gone around hurting people and doing things that aren't me. So things are gonna change. I don't remember if I posted my new rules on the beginning of this. I'm going to go over them now because they're not new. I mean, some of them are very much the same as they were, but I think it's time to reiterate some of them and explain some of the new ones. So, first of all, this stream is to remain enjoyable for the majority. The streams as of late have not been enjoyable for some people. Especially some newcomers that had subscribed to me and now have unsubscribed. I don't want that happening. It's not about the subscribers or the subs, as we say. It's really about the perception of who I am because I represent him. And if I'm representing him, there's a certain way I want to be. Doesn't mean I'm going to be wishy-washy, wimpy, and just let people walk all over me. That's not what I'm saying. But when things get unkind, and it starts feeling ugly to me, then that's where I, as I say, tap out. That's where I say I've had enough. Time to regroup and be back to who I am and what I'm about. And that's where I'm at this point, is going back to who I am and what I'm about, and making the stream, the room, if you will, enjoyable for the majority. That doesn't mean everybody that comes in here is going to like that we talk about God, or we pray sometimes, or we discuss certain subjects, or I'm against certain things and I don't want them discussed. That's my right. It's my room. But overall, I want there to be a feeling and an essence and a spirit, if you will, or energy of positivity and celebrating each other and being there for each other and going through things together. It's not about competition. It's not about naysaying. It's not about, oh, they're saying this or they're doing that or whatever. Let them. If they want to, that's fine. If somebody has a problem with me, they can reach out to me in email like somebody did this morning, and I will reach back to them. I think that's a mature way of handling things. And it's not that I'm not mature and I don't know how to handle it. It's that I got caught up in something very bad. And I don't want to be caught up in that kind of stuff. I was watching a little bit of Sunny Rooster this morning. It's one of my favorite channels because, I mean, how can you go wrong watching a bird, you know? And I love Cece's little interaction with him and stuff. And I love Cece. And I even went into one of her true crime videos today and made a comment. And it just occurred to me that Cece and I, we haven't talked in a while. We did talk on the phone one time, It was a very pleasant conversation. We got to know each other, and I kind of miss talking to her and hanging out with her because she's a very positive, happy lady. So shout out to Cece today and Crime and Coffee. If you're into true crime, she's definitely a good channel to go to. It's very objective, um, informative, and she definitely poses things that you might not have thought about. So I like Cece. But it occurred to me that Cece hasn't been around my channel in a long time. She hasn't popped in here. She's probably tired of the drama and all the negativity and the hurtful things that have been happening. And Cece's a positive force on YouTube. I want her to feel comfortable coming in here. And I want other people like Aaron F. to venture into my room and people like that I've always had positive connections with. So when I realized that those people were not coming here anymore, it was not about the subs. It was about what vision are you portraying here? What are people seeing that pop into your room? What are they hearing in the chat? What they're hearing is your room is becoming just like some of the other rooms on here, where there's a bunch of contention and division and fighting and arguing and disturbance. And that's not what this room was ever meant to be about. This channel is far from that. I don't want to turn into the narcissist. That was never my intention either. And when you get caught up in that kind of mean girl stuff and you're trying to defend yourself or you're trying to protect other people or you're taking sides, you then become narcissistic. And I was becoming that way, and that's not my heart. That's not who I am at all. I fight narcissists. I'm the one that exposes them and exposes those behaviors. I certainly do not want to be guilty of perpetuating those behaviors. So that's why I tapped out and said, oh, okay, whoa, stop. I remember years ago reading a book about habit breaking. And the quickest way to break a habit is to literally say out loud, stop. There's actually a method called, I think it's stopgap method or something like that. And you say stop and you sit and you take some breaths and you look at what's going on and you realize that actually Matthew's therapist has been kind of teaching him this, and I've been learning it too. What are you smelling? What are you hearing? What are you feeling? What are you tasting? What's happening in the here and now? Because when you're on the crazy train, which is what I call it, good morning, Wilson family. When you're on that crazy train, you are going full steam ahead. You're not looking at the scenery. You're not noticing what you're saying. You're not paying attention to what other people are saying. You're not stepping out and seeing things objectively. And therefore, that train just whisks you off to whatever destination it wants to whisk you to. It's almost like being taken to the pit of hell, to be honest. It's like you're riding this really fun roller coaster ride, and all of a sudden it turns into this crazy train that takes you into this tunnel full of flames and whatever. I know I've been watching a lot of weird movies lately, but honestly, that's what it felt like. It felt like I was going to this point of no return, this bottomless tunnel pit, whatever, endless tunnel, bottomless pit. And I couldn't get off. It was like a crazy train. So I finally said, stop. I yelled it pretty much in my head, but almost out loud, and stepped back and said, whoa, what is happening here? And why am I part of this? And what part do I play in this? And how can I fix this? Because this time it's me that needs the fixing. I can't fix anybody else, obviously. I can't help somebody with a disorder. I can't be the perfect friend, the perfect person, the perfect one, the perfect counselor, the perfect life coach. I never will be. I can only be me, and the only person I can repair and fix, and the only person's behaviors and attitudes I can fix are my own. So I had to step out and say, okay, where's my part in this? What am I doing, and what can I change? How do I get off this crazy train? I'm ready to get off. I've had enough of this trip, and I'm going to find smoother waters. Sorry, I can't really talk very well because I do have Bell's palsy, and it's affecting my speech at this point. It's pretty scary and disconcerting, but it is what it is. So I'm just going to go with it. But I wanted to get off that crazy train and into a boat floating on peaceful waters. One of the best things you can ever do is take a canoe trip if you can. Get into a canoe and just paddle. Bring yourself a lunch, whatever you want to do. Paddle out on the waters and just slowly enjoy that scenery floating by. It was one of my favorite things I've ever done is floating in a canoe, which tells me I should probably take my husband and go on a canoe trip at some point, because he likes the river and I need him to have a positive sense of the river, not a negative one, which he's struggling with right now. I want the river to be a pleasant thing, not a scary thing. But in my mind, I needed to get this room and me and my life back in that gentle canoe floating on the water and off of the crazy train that was going way too fast for me. One thing you may note about me is I am slow. I may talk fast when I get upset, but I'm actually a very slow person mentally. I'm slow in a lot of ways. I always was. I was born slow. I know this about myself, and it's probably why people think, man, there's something really wrong with her. There is something that's going on with me. My brain does not pick up on innuendos or meta messages. I often forget things. I don't always process what's going on in the right way, and therefore I overreact or I underreact or I don't react properly. And I am guilty of that. And that is a problem I have. That is my disorder, if you will, and has always been my disorder. I've always had a hormonal imbalance. I've always had chemical imbalances. I've always had trouble understanding people. That is why over the years, I've pretty much pulled away from people because they scare me and I'm afraid I'm going to react the wrong way or I'm going to lash out in anger and I'm not going to like myself after that. If it's just me that I have to deal with, I do much better because I seem to be able to regulate myself regarding myself. But interacting with others, I have a big problem with that. I'm very intolerant of certain types of people. I've said that before. Somebody that talks super fast, pressured speech, drives me bonkers. Matthew was watching a movie last night. I can't remember what it was about, but something about a girl that went to another place and something. I don't know. And all I could hear was this didn't, 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 over and over. And it really wasn't what was going on, but because where I was laying on the bed, I was only hearing bits and pieces of the song, and it was so repetitive. I wanted to smash the TV with a sledgehammer. I mean, that's how bad it bothered me. I can't handle certain sounds, certain repetition. Cannot deal with somebody who is on the phone and just talks, does not breathe in between. That bothers me really bad. I do not tolerate new agey, witchcrafty, anything like that type of thing spiritually. I won't, I can't, I just don't. And therefore the rules that I will be talking about some more. It's just who I am, and in this room, who I am is who you'll get. Whether that's the good, the bad, the ugly, I want it to be mostly, okay, honey, the good and not the bad or the ugly. Because the bad and ugly is not who I am. The good is who I am and who I want to be. So let's go with rule number 2, just a second. I'm going to just keep kind of elaborating on things as I go, because I really am serious about this. I'm so done with all the goofiness and the distorted versions of me. Number 2, unnecessary drama stays out of here. You will be hidden by me if you mention any negative issue about a person or people in this room. So what I am talking about is people that come in here and say, I heard so-and-so was saying such and such about you. So-and-so is bashing you. So-and-so is talking against you. All of that stuff is going to immediately hide the person. It's not even going to be a timeout. It's going to be, you're gone. You're hidden. I do not see you. And hopefully other people in here will get the message and hide as well. In fact, we may have a keyword where I say hide them or hide or something. And then everybody hides them, and there will be no back and forth discussion about anything anybody's saying about me anywhere. Because my rule has always been and always will be, if you've got an issue, email me. Hence why I say delusiondispeller@gmail.com. Somebody already did that this morning. They emailed me to talk to me about how they felt about everything that's been going on. I've already responded to that person. I'm waiting to see if they respond back. If they do, great. If they don't, fine, whatever. Hi Myra. I'm so steadfast in getting this room back and keeping it where it was, where people felt safe in here. People felt like they could open up. People felt like this was a warm and welcoming place, but also a place of no nonsense because Dee Dee doesn't tolerate it. I'm trying to get that balance back. Things got way out of balance in a really bad negative way. My whole idea of hiding people, the Bible says, cast out the dissension bringer and strife will cease. Sorry, I can't say those S's very well. My way of casting out the dissension bringer is to silence them through hiding them, because that's what YouTube gives us to do. If I was on Pale Talk, they would get what's called a red dot, which means the same thing. You would not see their text messages in the room. They would disappear. I like this feature because, unfortunately, the online world is a whole lot different than the in-person world. In person, if somebody upsets you, you may say, look, I need to go or whatever, and you would leave if you had the guts to do that, or you would change the subject or something like that. Online, changing the subject never works because, number one, the person you're trying to change the subject with, if they're very steadfast in what they want to bring forth, will keep up on that same vein. Or somebody else will come in, or many somebodies will come in bringing the same kind of garbage. So on here, you need to hide the person. There is no changing the subject. And the walking away means I end my room. And I'm not going to close my room down because somebody's bringing in negativity. I'm just going to hide the person. And unfortunately, that includes people that I like. So if you're somebody I like and I get along with, don't bring me any negativity from other rooms that people are saying about me or anything that's going on. If you want to talk to me about something going on in another room that somebody's saying, please email me privately. Do not bring it into this room, because people are getting hurt. People that are very vulnerable are getting hurt. There are people on here right in this room now that could be suicidal. That if you say the wrong thing or move the wrong way, they're going to act on something that could cost them their life. And do you really want that on your conscience? That something you could have stopped wasn't stopped and somebody is no longer here. I don't want that on my conscience. So if you have an issue with somebody, or you hear somebody saying something against me and you just insist that I need to know it, just email me privately. That is all I'm asking. I have no trouble, excuse me, with somebody coming to me privately and saying, hey, Dee Dee, I want to bring you this screenshot. They're saying this or they're doing that or whatever. That's fine, because then I can just say, okay, that's interesting. And at that point, I may decide to approach those people, or I may say, whatever. They're talking about me. They're leaving someone else alone. But it won't get to the point where I'm trying to watch a very quick text screen and I'm reacting to it and I'm freaking out over it and I'm lashing out and I'm getting mocking like, and I don't want to be that. That's not me. So please, that's what I'm asking. If you have some issue with somebody saying something about me or something you think I need to know, just bring it to me in email. So here we go. That's the very next rule. And it was the rule to begin with, but it's still the rule. Got an issue with me or someone else, take it outside in the email only. It's really not that hard to do, because you still get to say your piece. You still get to bring it to my attention. And that way I get to decide Do I want to do anything with this or don't I? We keep it out of our room so that we keep the peace. All right, next one. And this stands to reason, this next one. Zero tolerance for perversion or violent talk and threats. This also includes violent names. Like if you come in and your name is gonna knock you off or something, I'm hiding you on the channel. So I'm gonna put that too, including violent screen names or perverted screen names and profile pics. Okay, that way we know. So I won't go into that now, but that's added to the rules. So the full thing is zero tolerance for perversion or violent talk and threats, including violent screen names or perverted screen names and profile pictures. Somebody put a very perverted picture in here yesterday. They used it as their profile picture, and I don't want that coming into my room. If that happens, they will be hidden on the channel. And since I won't be using StreamYard, they will indeed be hidden, as in you will not see them or what they are posting. All right, next. Number 5. I'm trying to keep these at 7. So they're concise, but they're thorough. Hold on. This is not letting me post. It might be too long. Just a minute. I think that's what happened. It might have been too long. Yeah. This room is not open nor welcome to people under the influence of drugs or alcohol. The regular people who choose to be here are giving the best of themselves in a wholesome way. That was already the rule. I'm going to put the rest of that on here. I've been in rooms recently where there were people taking medicine that were just really not themselves. Please do not enter my room in that state unless you're coming here to say, hey, somebody call 911. It's very disturbing to other people that get easily triggered. It's very frightening to those of us that can't reach out to help you because we don't live where you are. If you need that kind of help, privately email somebody. Email me if you want. I will call 911. I will get somebody there to help you. Do not come in here in a drunken or drugged state of mind, please. If you've taken Ambien, if you've taken, there's another pill that you can take, and you're about to drift off to sleep, please do not enter the chat room. Please wait until you are awake the next morning and I'm online then to come in. Do not come in here because number one, you don't know what you're going to be typing. You do not know how you're going to act if we have a panel, and it's not comfortable and it's not fair to other people. It's not fair to yourself to be presenting yourself in a light that is less than who you are. So again, if I sense that somebody is making erratic statements in the text or somebody is uncomfortable on panel and obviously under influence or just acting in an odd way, you will be hidden immediately. Only people that are in their clarity of mind will be in this chat room to have discussions. It's the same thing as if you would not walk into class drunk or under the influence of a drug, I would hope. I did not go to school in college after taking Actifed and being half dead tired. I didn't do that. I didn't go on a drunken binge and go hop into classroom the same day or into somebody's living room or whatever. So it's not okay in here to do that. So please do not. All right, that includes prescription medicines, any medicines. If you are not in your right mind, your right clarity of mind, do not enter my room. You can enter it. I can't stop you from lurking. Do not type into the room unless what you're saying is going to be understood in a logical way, obviously. Okay. This one has caused some problems because there are quite a few people on here on YouTube that go to the psychic rooms, the seance rooms, the tarot card rooms, the tea leaf rooms, and I don't tolerate any of that. So this room honors God. There won't be any discussion about psychics, witchcraft, tarot cards, tea leaves, crystals, anything of the like, anything new agey, anything paranormal, pagan, nothing like that in here. None. So this is not the room for you if you participate in that stuff. Find another room. And if that means you unsubscribe from me, I'm sorry that that's the way it has to be. I have a right to have the type of essence in my room that I want. It's going to be a godly room, a God-fearing room, God-honoring room, a spiritual room, a room where God is spoken about, a room where godliness is talked about, and not a room that talks about those kind of things. I'm not comfortable with it. It violates my beliefs. It violates quite a few people's beliefs on here. In fact, I would say the majority of people I know on YouTube have godly beliefs and Bible beliefs, and hearing about that stuff is not something we enjoy hearing about. So do not bring it in here. If you do, I will hide you on my channel. Okay, this was just reiterated, but I need to reiterate it. If you have a problem with another creator or viewer or subscriber or anybody of the like, it will not be discussed in this room. So do not bring it in here. Don't apologize to me afterwards. Just don't mention it. Don't say it to me. Take it to email. If you want to email me about it, email me. Please do not bring it in here. That's not what this room is going to be about. It's too painful for people, especially people who have been through like divorce, either their parents or themselves, abuse and trauma, any of that stuff. It's not comfortable to hear that kind of thing. So if there are squabbles going on, good morning, One Love. Do not bring it in here, period. Bring it to me in email privately. We can open a private Zoom room if you want to hash it out there, not in the public chat room anymore, please. All right, so now I'm going to put a disclaimer up so you can see the disclaimer. Views and opinions of the room, visitors, and guests on the panel do not necessarily reflect the views of myself or my husband. Just so you know, just because people say something does not mean we agree with it. And the last part of these rules. This is my live stream. I'll operate it my way. Any suggestions may be presented to me via email privately, not during the stream or in comments. Okay, all of that being said, now you know where I stand. New rules, slightly. Going to be not even a new room. It's going to be the room that we had that was comfortable for all, that people enjoyed coming in and participating in. So that's just how it's going to be. I'm done being part of the Mean Girl group. I'm done bashing people, as people call it. I am done being part of any of that. That's not me. It doesn't feel good to me. It's definitely not helping me heal. Whether you want to believe I have Bell's palsy or not, I do, and it's very uncomfortable. And I'm hoping that I'm starting to get feeling back in my cheek. It feels like I might be. I'm still slurring a little bit. I'm still drooling a little bit. It's not a severe case, definitely not like Molly Golightly had in any way, shape, or form. But it is uncomfortable because anytime something is done to your body or happens in your body that is out of your control, it's not going to be a joyride. So yeah, it's uncomfortable. And since my work is using my voice, I'm very conscious of how I'm saying things, and it's not an enjoyable experience for me. Anyway, this particular live will be closing at 10 o'clock. Well, actually 9:50 in 5 minutes because 9:55, 10 minutes, because I do need to get to work at 10. I'm doing some tutoring. I do have an interview today for my new tutoring job. That is where my focus will mostly be today. But I did want to come on here and talk to people, let them know that I'm okay, let them know that Things are changing in here and going back to Pleasantville. Real Pleasantville. No kind of horror movie thing. That's the other thing that won't be discussed in here either. No horror movies. Which I probably need to probably need to add to the rules. So we can talk about recipes, we can talk about pets, we can talk about dieting, we can talk about vacations we've had, our families. I'm not saying we can never mention anything negative. I'm just saying no mentioning of creators and subscribers and viewers in a negative way in here. Take it to email me, talk to me to your heart's content. If you need to have a voice, we can talk on the phone, we can talk on the camera, just not in this particular place. No live stream drama, none. I'm hopping off. Yes, uplifting, positive, godly, good energy, if you will, but not weird stuff, uncomfortable stuff, things that trigger people. There's been so many people in this room that have been triggered by the recent events, and it's hurting my heart because I know what it feels like to have anxiety attacks. I've had them. It's not pleasant. It's very frightening. You feel like you're going to die. You almost want to die because it's such a scary feeling, like you're losing your mind. One Love can relate to this because she had a reaction like that from one of her medicines recently after her surgery. It's frightening. When I die, I already told Matthew this, when it's my time to go, I prefer to lose my mind first. I don't want to know I'm dying. I just want it to happen and bam, be with God in eternity. I don't want it to be this thing where I'm laying in a hospital room saying goodbye to people. That's not my choice of death. I would rather just not know. Just let my mind go, God, and take me when it's time, That's really how I feel about it, and I hope I get that prayer answered before I do pass. I'm hoping to live past 100, so that might be the case. I might go a little senile before I go, so that'd be good. That would work well. Anyway, hence the dieting and the exercise and trying to get into my best shape so I can live a long life and maybe have that happen. Of course, if I'm dieting and exercising and getting healthy, that might not happen. I don't know. We'll see how it all goes. Hopefully that's not for many, many, many years to come. I'm not planning on departing anytime soon. I don't think that that's in the cards for me, so to speak. Good One Love. Maybe we'll have to have a 100-year reunion and get together again. We'll be the two musketeers on YouTube saying, hey, we're still here. Actually, it'd be more like, hey, we're still here. We're 100. We'll tease each other and have a good old live together. That'd be awesome. I think One Love and I are so much alike in some ways and so different in some ways that it's like a good pair. In our rockers with our hats. That's right. We'll be like those ladies with the, what do they call them? The pink hat ladies or whatever. Have you ever seen them? Those old ladies? They're like a group of old ladies that get together and sing and dance and stuff. They're so enjoyable and funny. We'll be like that. Only we'll be appropriate and not perverted like some of those ladies are. I could see that. I could see it happening. Anyhow. Hey, One Love, where do you exactly live? Do you live in Wisconsin or? I forget. You told me at one point. Our Flapper Gear, yes. 100-year Flapper reunion. That would be fun. So, on that note, I got 5 minutes. Upper Peninsula of Wisconsin. Red Hat Society. Thank you, Medusa's child. I wasn't sure. Yeah, the Red Hat Society. What year would that be? I don't know. I'm 53 in 2 days. I'll be 53. Matthew's the mathematician, so I can't add all that in my head. It's whenever I'll be 100. I want to live past 100. 2066? Wow, that's a long time away. Oh, cool. One love. So we are kind of alike. We're kind of in the same realm. And as I said, I know I said no new agey stuff, but I think there is a little bit to the month you were born. There are similarities in people that were born in months that are close to each other and stuff. Yeah, the same generation as well, definitely. Which makes us pretty compatible, which is good because I'm not compatible with many people, as you've probably learned. And people I thought I was compatible with, I find out I'm not. So that's all right. Whatever. Everybody's not gonna be your bestie in life. I know that. But I also don't want to be hurtful towards people. So I was born in 66. So I'm a couple years older than you, sister. That's okay. I think you're wiser than I am in a lot of ways. And I love listening to you because I learn from you. And I have no problem learning from younger people. As long as we're, being decent to each other, why not learn from each other? I don't know all the information about stuff. I know a lot about a lot of things, but I don't know everything. Never said I did. That's the joy of life, is learning new things and being able to say, hey, I never thought of that, or I've never heard of that. It's boring if you know everything. I just have a hard time being corrected by people because I feel so sure of myself most of the time. And yet I'm finding out that even when I feel sure of myself, maybe I'm really not on the right wavelength. Yes, mutual respect, exactly. And I think, one love, we have this understanding that, we have different rooms. Now I got an echo. Thanks, Matthew. In case we needed that emphasized, Matthew just emphasized it. We have an understanding.
Sorry, honey, I'm silencing you
now. Okay, that we have our room and we run it the way we run it, and the other person might disagree with some things, and that's okay. And we can agree to disagree in a pleasant way and still love one another anyways. I think you have the right name, by the way. One Love is a beautiful name. I've always loved that name. I think when I first met you, though, you were just one. So I'm glad you tacked the love on there. The Delusion Dispeller name, that's always been my name on here, always will be. It's what I do. And today I'm dispelling delusions that I had of things. So yes, we respect each other's boundaries. Unless I don't know a boundary that you have, then I can't respect it. But if I violate it, I'm sure you will let me know. Lenny Kravitz song, One Love. Yeah. Anyhow, I'm really glad I came on here today to talk about the rules a little bit, to let you know they're not changing drastically. I'm not falling off of some kind of wacky ride and coming up with brand new stuff and doing some kind of bipolar acrobats or something, or acrobatics. I'm just literally tweaking them a bit so they are clear. And so we don't have the problems we've had lately that have really hurt my heart and really devastated a lot of people that can't really cope with it very well. So hopefully this room was helpful today and everything was clear. Yeah, definitely. And things will get better from here. I have to believe that. They have to get better because too many people are getting hurt. And it's never okay to go around hurting people. There's enough crazy people in this world that are hurting and killing people. I don't want to kill people with my mouth, with my attitude, with my heart, or anything. You can kill somebody in more than one way. You can kill their reputation. You can kill their spirit. Yeah, I'm not a mean girl. I don't want that to be part of my repertoire. It's not even fun to me to laugh at people or, oh, that's what they think, blah, blah, blah. That's not fun to me. It feels uncomfortable to me because that's not me. I would much rather have a room where the people in it are getting along and we're having a good time and we're laughing together. I hate mean girl stuff. I didn't even see the movie, to be honest with you. I don't like that kind of stuff. I was curious about the movie, but I just can't stand it. Yeah, Vale, you'll have to rewind. If you want to know what the heck's going on, because I'm about to leave. It's 9:55. 5 minutes I need to be available for my students. So anyways, God bless everybody. Thank you for coming in here. I appreciate each and every one of you. Let's make this a better, more positive place, the best place on YouTube if we can, where people are like, hey, let's go to Dee Dee's room. Let's go to the Delusion Dispeller room and see all those wonderful people in there who are so kind to each other. Nobody's fighting. Nobody's in any kind of drama, because the drama will be behind the scenes if there's any going on, and we're going to keep it behind the scenes. Let's do this. And on that note, one love, I'm giving you a wrench because I feel like I want to. And I'm going to see how that goes. But I think it's a good decision. Not sure my husband is like all for it, because he's like, well, you won't give me a wrench. I don't always agree with what he does. Now, if I start not disagreeing or not agreeing with what you do, you may lose your wrench. We'll see how it goes. Right now, that's the way I want to do it, and we'll see how it is. So I think we're like-minded, and we may expand and get some more wrenches in here. Who knows? So anyway, one love, we need to stay in touch and talk outside of here as well, so that we're on the same wavelength on how to handle things in the room. I'm not going to just assume that you know how I feel about certain type things that come in here. So please email me so we can talk off of here and get this thing off on the right track. Oh, wow. Val, I'm sorry. Poor kitty. Hopefully there's medicine for that for kitties. I don't know much about it. I'm on Synthroid for my hypothyroidism Hashimoto's. So one love, I will expect to hear from you shortly, hopefully. And God bless everybody. I need to go. I will be back on later, probably at some point. But thanks for coming in and listening and hearing my heart. Let's make this a great place. God bless.